Hey Jessie, welcome to your final essay correction. It's Andrew once again. Let's just get stuck straight into this one and see what we can do. So the continuous growth of industrialization has become a contentious issue in most modern societies. You don't need this because modern societies usually encompasses today as well. From my point of view, encouraging companies to transfer from congested cities to rural areas provides more benefits than, I would say, drawbacks. Although both is technically correct, drawbacks would be more frequently used. I would say relocating companies. Or the relocation of companies. To begin with, congestion and pollution. The decline of congestion and pollution. Some. Word talks about the past. So if you were to say that congestion and pollution were benefits, it implies that that's changed in some way. So to begin with, congestion and pollution are both significant benefits of pushing institutions to regional locations. This is largely because manufacturing companies have been one of the main reasons why industrial... One second. I would say the high density of manufacturing industries in the centres of busy environments is the main cause of overcrowding and pollution. We want to give the idea that it's in these densely populated areas that where there are a lot of people, there's a great need to provide services and products for them. So the most attractive place to do so is next to those people in the city centres. And what we're realising is that having all of those things in one tiny place means that we have all of the problems in one tiny place as well. So you've got the idea correct, but we need a bit more specificity about where these companies are, and so I suppose why. Where's the crowding and the pollution coming from, in your own words, and then support that with an example. For example, a recent study from the University of the Philippines revealed that the implementation I would say the governmental implementation of company relocation policies. The governmental implementation of company relocation policies, such as with Mitsubishi Motors and Honda cars, has substantially reduced traffic congestion. Yeah, so I would say, yeah. A recent study from the University of the Philippines revealed that the governmental implementation of company relocation with companies such as Mitsubishi Motors and Honda cars has substantially reduced traffic congestion and air pollution in the main capital. That's good, but there's just too much in one sentence there. There's the when we're typing work, it can be quite easy to write a sentence and then just read it back and then edit it for efficiency. So think of if there's any way you can move the words around or leave some words out to express the idea as well as possible. It's always good to use precise language and make sure you define the point properly, but we must balance that with speaking with brevity. Brevity is the art of saying a lot with a very few words. Therefore, state effort or governmental effort, because this would have to be this would be governments would be a particular government. So I'd say governmental effort or state effort in addressing the issue. I would say could quickly solve the problem in large cities. I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's a very quick solution. To say, oh no, there's a density problem, everybody move! It's a bit short-sighted. It tells people, it doesn't tell people anything. It tells people to move. But when people move, there are other consequences to bear in mind, which I hope you're going to go into next. However, a rise in product cost and a delay in delivering supplies could be part of the drawbacks of this transfer. I think transfer doesn't quite carry your meaning. Not quite. It kind of does. But let's discuss, so relocation, movement, what else could we say? Just change would be fine. Or rapid change. A rising product cost and a delay in delivering supplies could be part of the drawbacks of this change. This is due to the fact that transporting goods over a long distance transporting goods over a longer distance could delay their delivery and increase costs. Delay their delivery and increase costs. For example, the typical 5-day delivery time of canned goods like sardines and corned beef would certainly extend to 7 or 8 days because of the new locations manufacturing companies, which inhibit their target plan of supplying the demand of society. So I get what you're doing here. I know that I've asked you to be more specific in your examples, but what's happening is you're getting too long, and there's too much expansion now. One thing about this example, a few things about this example. The typical 5-day delivery time of canned goods. So I didn't know that canned goods like sardines and corned beef had a typical delivery time, and I'm not sure they do, because it's dependent on the person bringing them, the company selling them, the company manufacturing them, the person buying them. It's dependent on far too many things. So when I say that we need to give data in our examples, it has to be real, and as well, so this hypothetical 5-day delivery time, you say it would certainly extend to 7 or 8 days. So what I would say here instead, let's have a think. I would say, take, for example, a company in a city centre that is there specifically to offer short delivery times to its customers who are also located in the city centre. If this company were to move 10 miles outside of the city, it would result in a directly proportional increase in cost. So it's a very simple relationship we're explaining, and the relationship is distance. So we only have to say that if someone were moving outside of the city centre, it would naturally take them longer to get into the city centre, increasing delivery times and defeating their original mission, or defeating their original objective. So this is what I was saying before, that this policy is silly because it undermines the reasons people chose to be in the city in the first place. Everyone goes, yay, the city's great, and then the government goes, get out of our cities. It's not cool, is it? In addition, companies tend to pass this burden to the consumers by raising the prices of their products. Thus, the disadvantage of this action I would say the disadvantage of this policy, or the economic, I suppose actually, the disadvantage of this policy could be economic hardship for the customers who previously enjoyed good service. Economic hardship for the customers who previously enjoyed good service. To conclude, I wholeheartedly believe that pushing large institutions to move from city centres to regional locations provides long-term benefits. Long-term, no ah, 2 words. Provides long-term benefits. It should also be more long-term benefits than short-term drawbacks. So what I would do here, because your opinion is that it is beneficial to move people outside of the city centre, but I would start with this, because actually what it looks like here is that you've gone, well, although this is a benefit, you can't ignore these negatives. So what I would do is start with a small counter-argument. So I'd start here with, like, on the one hand, or to begin with, or maybe even some believe that, and then cover the fact that it would be bad, and then say, however, because if you start your second paragraph with however, it can look like this is the paragraph that you believe, your personal opinion. So maybe start with the counter argument, but that's not that important. You have given your opinion. You do have a great intro, but my advice last time has messed up your examples a little bit. Try to make them, let's rewrite this one just so you've got more to work from. The implementation, well, we already did rewrite that one. So let's have a think, let's quantify what's happening. So cars, logistics. And we have to remember as well that we're not keeping pollution down, it is only in the large cities, as you've said. So we're just moving the pollution to outside the large cities. So it's just somebody else's problem. This is the problem I have with it. Moving a problem is not solving a problem. Moving a problem is giving it to somebody else, which, to be blunt, is a horrible thing to do to someone. Let's try solving our problems. Instead of trying to write your essay for you, what I'm going to do is suggest that if you have any further questions about this, then send me an email or add me on Skype or something and we can discuss it, because I could sit here and talk to this microphone all day and I need to get on with things. Oh, I hate the T one. Every time I open this one. So, the thing with this one, it can be quite difficult because what it's essentially asking you to do, or what you should do, is to be able to say, to start with, what each T, which stages each T shares. So, primarily, we can see that all T types except require. So then we're covering like the entire first stage. Every T type requires this except this T type. For the second stage, every T requires this except this. And then it's at the third stage where stuff starts to get different. So then we can say, for the third stage, or from this point, white T requires, boiling, punching, shredding, throwing out of a window, whatever it is. So let's have a look. So the diagram illustrates the process of creating various types of tea. Various types of tea, or various teas. Various types of tea, such as white, green, oolong, and scented tea. From fresh leaves, white, green, oolong, scented. If you're going to list them all. So like, we also have black in there as well, don't we? White, green, oolong, scented. What the bloody hell was the other one? I can't remember. Sorting and cleaning of fresh leaves is the beginning of the process. Cool, and it is for everyone. That's excellent. We maybe should say is the beginning of the process for all types of tea, or for all leaves. Oolong tea is withered. Oolong leaves. Let's refer to the leaves. Oolong leaves are withered before being shaken or rolled in a basket to bruise the leaf edges, or the edges of the leaves. While black tea is rolled into strips I would say, while black tea can either be rolled or cut depending on the type required. Meanwhile, oolong has a short fermentation period before being pan-fried, or before pan-frying, and is later dried. So we're talking about the future because we're talking about hypothetical steps. They've not been completed yet. It will be later dried, or it is later dried. Whereas black tea requires a full fermentation before being fried or dried. White tea is the easiest to produce because it only goes through, I would say, white tea is the easiest to produce as it only needs to be steamed and dried. Regarding green tea, withering, because what it means by often is only most of the time. So you could say regarding green tea, withering is an optional stage before being pan-fried. Before being pan-fried, steamed, or fired. So, or most of the time, green tea is withered before being pan-fried, steamed, or fired. Next is to roll and shape the tea, or to dry it with additional jasmine. Excellent. Scented tea is, if you were to say, because tea is one thing, so it would be the singular, and this is obviously still, we're not using past, we want to use present or future. Scented tea is a combination, or scented leaves are. Leaves, plural, are. Tea is. Black or oolong tea, which are dried, then scented with flowers and fruits, and cooled, and later cooled. Later cooled. Cooled after is not quite correct, and also neither is this double full stop. Be careful with your punctuation. Overall, it can clearly be seen that white, green, black, and oolong were produced from fresh tea leaves, except for scented tea, which were created from any one of three processed teas. Any one of three processed teas. Cool. So, like I said, if you need any further help with these, because these are I would say your essays have gotten better and better and better, except for the fact that your examples have gotten a little complicated. But that shouldn't take you long to sort out. That's really not a big problem. But all the best, Jessie. Like I said, do get in touch if you need anything. Until then, have a wonderful day. Bye bye.